I'm not sure if you understand that every day coming up with context that you guys find educational or entertaining, it's really hard, especially look at the market over here. The mortgage rates aren't moving. You got the economic calendar here that's, today we got crude oil inventories. Who cares about that? And then you go over to this section, Dow Jones is taking off, but the NASDAQ is flipping because everybody's moving out of tech stocks and moving into things like, I talked to you guys yesterday about investing in the S&P 500. So what can we talk about today that'll give you some substance to real estate? Well, there was an interview on CNBC just now that's absolutely perfect. So I'm going to let this interview take place. Once it's done, I don't know if you're going to have any questions, but I'll fill in some of the blanks once it's done. But pay attention to this thing. It's really informative, a lot more informative than I thought it was going to be. So take it away.
Permits. Some of this growing belief that we're getting a rate cut, will it possibly show up in this data? I know it's backward looking, but we've been seeing growing hopes for quite a bit of time.
Builders confidence data that looks out 6 months, it had a little bit of slight uptick yesterday. So, rates have actually fallen a little bit more than 1% since the highs of last year. So it's a little bit too early to get any of the lower rates into the data line. But I think the story going out is we're worried about construction labor. Multifamily permits are near recession lows. Single-family permits have been falling. So you want to keep an eye on single-family permits when the housing starts data comes out today and see if that decline in the last few months have settled down any.
All right. I always thought real estate was about location, but apparently it's about inventory, Logan. It's really about inventory, at least nowadays. So inventory is growing. According to your data, back in March of 2022, we had 240,000 single-family homes for sale. Last week, you said that's 650,000, obviously more than doubling. But here's a real question. Is that enough to meet demand? Is that enough to lower prices that just seem to keep going up and up?
Here's the insightful thing that I didn't even realize. So yes, I'm learning something on a daily basis as well. Check this out.
Price cut percentages have been increasing since the end of March, so the price growth data should cool down this year, and especially in the second half. But I think the best story for housing 2024 is that inventory is off of its extreme low level. So if mortgage rates go down towards 6% or lower, we're going to have a lot more choices for Americans. We're not going to have this 75 or 80% of the marketplace be multiple bids. So I think that's the positive story. We're ready for lower rates if it happens, where we weren't ready for lower rates in 2022 and 2023.
All right, so you're saying if it happens, we're ready. One area of the housing market that has been a lot of questions about just due to the rise of prices is the lower end and the middle tier when it comes to housing buyers. When we look at that inventory, how much of that is priced for them?
Unfortunately, affordable housing is almost like a myth here in America. Inventory is growing generally on all levels, but more than 40% of the growth in inventory comes from Texas and Florida. And a lot of that is basically property taxes and insurance has made housing less affordable in those areas on all price points. The only way to alleviate affordability is either rates come down low enough or rates and prices come down. Prices, it's on a national level, we're not there yet. But affordability will happen when rates come down and wages grow. So this is going to be probably a multi-year process. But we are in such a better spot if rates fall. I don't think we're going to get the 10, 15, or 20% home price gains ever again. As long as inventory stays at this level and keeps on going higher, that'll be good over the next few years for the housing market.
Fantastic data. If you guys didn't get that. So what he said too is pay attention to the building permits. Now this was an interview from this morning. So let's take a dive into those numbers to see how those transpired over the time. So we're going right through here. Housing start numbers month over month from June. This was revised to 1.31 million. It's now 1.35. So there's more inventory there. Housing starts a month over month change. Was negative 5.5, revised to negative 4.6. It's now positive. Building permit numbers from 1.4 million to 1.44 million in building permit change. So all these numbers are saying there's more and more and more housing inventory coming. That's fantastic news. So he said, mortgage rates need to ease a little bit more. They're coming down. But I didn't know, here's one thing, and I'll admit, I didn't know that 40% of the inventory was basically in Texas and Florida. That was a surprise to me. So we're seeing more and more homes coming into the market. As he said too, he doesn't anticipate housing appreciating. 10 or 15% like it has over the last couple of years. It'll go back to normals, but he's also not predicting a crash or a crack in the economy. So that was basically nothing but good news today, other than basically the NASDAQ completely crashing. Let's see what cryptocurrencies are doing right through here. Wow, that's down just a little bit as well. And let's go to oil. So a lot of flip-flop from where we were yesterday. But on the housing front, it looks like there's more inventory that's here and coming, and that looks like, I'll just say not bad news that we see so far today in the economy. So again, what he was saying is Florida and Texas, they're having struggles, and I even mentioned that yesterday in my videos. We went from getting a lot of applications of people buying from California, Arizona, Texas, and Florida. It's kind of converted a little bit. Now we're starting to get the Carolinas and the middle of the country, like Pennsylvania, Ohio. We're getting more business out of New York in the central part of the country, because housings they're not, like he was saying, they're not, where's the affordable housing, but there's housing that you can actually make the payments on. I'll put it that way. So if you're trying to figure out, can I qualify for a house or can I not? Do I need to keep renting? Don't disqualify yourself. Okay, reach out to us. Kyle and I of Kyle Seagraves of the Win the House You Love. Him and I just did a long live event. We talked about grant programs and things like that. Check that out. I'll put that video right up through here. But if we can be of any help to you to help you not disqualify yourself in trying to buy that first house, please check us out. Go to therateupdate.com. The first step that you need to make is just hit the apply now button. You'll schedule an appointment with me or one of my counselors. There's only 3 of us. There's me, Alan, and Dave, so don't worry about going to a call center. It'll be just one of us, and we'll go over it and we'll analyze, are there any grant programs out there? What programs do you qualify, and the whys behind it. So check that out. If you'd prefer to just give us a call, yes, you can do that. You just scroll to the bottom of our website, and there it is right there, 844-775-5626, or you can reach me on my email at dan@therateupdate.com. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you're finding value in my channel. And if you are, please do me one thing, just one thing alone. Hit that subscribe button right over there. We're just this shy of 30,000 subscribers. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you back here tomorrow, bright and early. Have a fantastic evening. God bless. Be safe.